Hi, my name is Ardo, and I am the Kids Coordinator at the Festival of Literary Diversity, also known as The Fold. And today I'll be talking about the Fold Kids Book of the Month picks for May. Every month I pick one picture book and one middle grade or young adult title to spotlight, and these books are by Canadian kidlit authors from marginalized backgrounds. For May, our picks are Swim Team by Johnnie Christmas and Tanas Lemming by Rachel and Sean Qitsualik-Tinsley and Tamara, Campeau. Swim Team is a middle grade graphic novel, and in it, Bree can't wait for her first day at her new middle school, Enith Brigatha, home to the Mighty Manatees. Until she's stuck with the only elective that fits her schedule, the dreaded Swim 101. The thought of swimming makes Bree more than a little queasy, yet she's forced to dive headfirst into one of her greatest fears. Lucky for her, Etta, an elderly occupant in her apartment building and former swim team captain, is willing to help. With Etta's training and a lot of hard work, Bree suddenly finds her swim-crazed community counting on her to help turn the school's failing team around. But that's easier said than done, especially when their rival, the prestigious Holyoke Prep, has everything they need to leave the Mighty Manatees in their wake. Can Bree defy the odds and guide her team to a state championship? Or have the Manatees swum their last lap for good? This lovely graphic novel is written by Johnnie Christmas, who is a #1 New York Times bestselling graphic novelist based in Vancouver, BC. And he's perhaps best known for co-creating the series Angel Catbird with Margaret Atwood, and has written many other comics such as Tartarus and Crema. He's actually both the writer and artist for this graphic novel. So why was Swim Team chosen as one of our May Book of the Month picks? Well, this wonderful graphic novel is all about conquering your fear, as our lead character Bree learns to face her own fear of swimming by learning to swim. It's also a story that sheds a light on the very real history of Black folks in the United States, and I'm sure Canada as well, who were banned from using public pools through segregation, its effects that are still felt today with Black communities either not having access to a public pool in their community, or even if they did have a pool, it being severely underfunded. It's ultimately a delightful story about a middle school swim team that, despite the odds, does their best and creates community in the process. The art is lovely, and there are some really great visual moments on the page using colors and the panel layout, I should say, and some fun spreads that mimic, in one particular case, puzzle pieces, which I thought was really good. Definitely highly recommend picking this one up. So our other pick for May is Tanas Lemming. Tanas Lemming is a picture book where Tanna finds a small gray lemming, far too cute to turn over, to the scientist who has sent the children out to gather lemmings for his research. Instead, Tanna deems Fluffy to be a part of her family and attempts to raise the lemming in her home. But when the lemming strays from its cozy bed behind the stove and into Tanna's mother's things, Tanna is forced to consider whether she has really done what's best for Fluffy. Is it possible to treat something poorly by treating it well? Of Inuit and Cree ancestry, Rachel Qitsualik-Tinsley was born in a tent on the northernmost Baffin Island. She learned Inuit survival lore from her father, surviving residential school and attending university. Of Scottish Mohawk ancestry, Sean Qitsualik-Tinsley was born in southern Ontario, learning woodcraft and stories from his father. Rachel and Sean have both worked for decades as Arctic researchers and consultants, and writing together they have published 10 successful books and many shorter works celebrating the history and uniqueness of Arctic shamanism, cosmology, and more. And of course, Tamara Campeau works digitally to bring stories to life through her painterly illustrations. Her work is inspired by wildlife, children, and the environments they reside in, which is perfect for Tanas Lemming. So why was Tanas Lemming selected as one of our May Book of the Month picks? It's a story that takes place in the Arctic and engages with the outdoors, which makes it a great change from our last few picks. It's about the importance of all life, no matter how small, but also, you know, not every animal can be kept in your home. And it's important to think about how that can impact an animal's life if you do bring it home. You're taking it away from the environment it's used to, and it really does ask the question if, even though you think what you're doing is treating something or someone well, it might not necessarily be something that they want. And so I think that's a really great message and something to think about in a picture book. Thank you so much for watching. You can find more information on the book picks in this video, as well as from earlier in the year, and even further back by going to foldcanada.org/kids/book of the month. And we actually have a summer reading list out right now. It features 10 picture books, 10 middle grade, and 10 young adult titles, so check that out. And we're also currently accepting submissions for a Fold Kids Book Fest program guide until July 31st. So if you're a young writer from Canada between the ages of 6 to 14, highly recommend submitting either a poem or a short story, max of 500 words, and you can find the details for both the submission to the program guide and being able to download our summer reading list in our description below. And finally, you know, be sure to subscribe if you enjoy seeing these videos, and check us out over at Twitter and Instagram at Fold Kids and Facebook at Fold Kids with a Z. And yeah, see you next time.